Alright, welcome back to Will's Garage. Lots of stuff going on inside and out of the garage. Let's talk boats. Hobie Wave has been set back up to be a motorboat again for tender status for this summer sailing season. Got the Honda remounted, all the gear loaded up, ready to go. Also been working on the Seawing Trimaran and Solgato, my solar electric sailing cat. Here's the mast on the Seawing Trimaran. I've got it all stripped of its hardware and dealing with some corrosion issues, and also refitting it with some new hardware and rigging. This is the original feeder slot for the bolt rope main. Last season I switched the mainsail over to slides, but the problem was all the slides wanted to stack in this area where the bolt rope slot was. So decided I'd fill the slot in, use some 1/8 inch solid 6061 rod you see here. Went ahead and opened up the slot with files to get the rod to sit in nice and smooth, to try to do a repair where you can't tell it's ever had a slot cut in it. Once I got the rod sitting in there nice, I tacked it in and then filled and smoothed everything over with some West Marine epoxy and some high density filler. And once I got that slot all closed in, I went ahead and cut in and hand filed a smaller feeder slot for my slides that sits much lower, just above the boom. So this will allow me to put a slide stop in and let all the slides stack up, so it's easy to raise and drop the main single hand. Hardware wise, I'm adding a bunch of clutches to the mast where I'll lock it off, removing the winches on there. I 3D printed some contour spacers to get them to sit nice. Here are templates I'm making for new wing nets for the Seawing Trimaran. And these are being made this way so that the new wing nets fit really nice, fill everything in. These templates were sent to Slow Canvas, who made new nets for me out of Ferrari 392 small weave. I love this material. It drains really well, knocks down spray, and is super durable. Had them also sewn up with Tenara thread, so everything will be good in the UV. On Solgato, I'm building new batteries and going to be running the batteries in parallel, not series anymore. So I had to install more main wires up to the battery compartments. So I also had to take apart the control box. I wanted to make some changes, and so I've removed all the components. And I decided I want a little more room in the box, so I went ahead and got a slightly larger box. This is the old one on the left and the new one on the right. I also had to increase the size of the input duct because of that. I also didn't like that I had a hole in the old one for my BMV monitor, which is now in the remote. So this gave me an opportunity to not have blue tape filling in a hole. And so the box is all done. Everything is been moved over and installed in this new box. I'm also moving the shunt out of the battery compartment and into this box as well, which is one of the reasons I needed a little bit more room for it. Basically, my old shunt had definitely had some corrosion damage from living. So here is where the new shunt location will be, inside the box here. So this box stays in pretty good condition. It's gets pretty good protection from the rain and whatnot. Here's the old board on the shunt. You can see the corrosion issues. It was reading slightly off compared to a voltmeter. So here's the new shunt in. You can also see I got some DC to DC voltage converters that step the voltage down from 24 to 12 for all my accessories. Have my MPPTs in there on standoffs so they get lots of cooling. Still got to wire this all back up, but that's pretty easy to do. And so onto the batteries. My biggest limitation with this boat is basically how big these compartments are. These used to be built-in coolers, and I cut them out and built these slings. When I first built Salgato years ago, I was using Group 27 deep cycle marine batteries. So I removed those battery boxes, and here's the area where the new battery cases will go. So my whole limitation was basically on finding a battery case that would fit in here that I could also fit the right number and size of cells into. So I ended up settling on these cases. They're made out of FRP. I bought them off of eBay, and they have a one-way, Gore-Tex style vent, and then they have a nice thick seal around there, so they're truly going to be waterproof, and they are basically the largest thing I could fit inside of these battery storage areas in the boat. And what they're going to allow me to do is basically build two 24-volt batteries. So the cells will be in 8S. They're going to be 105 amp hour 3.2 volt cells. Each will have its own BMS, and they'll be paralleled to the motors. So I'm just working on putting those together. I'll put a video up in the future here of the full build of those, as I know people are really into those. Last but not least, for the Soleon fans, my 30-foot solar electric catamaran build, I recently ended up scoring this pair of Torqeedo 10 kilowatt pod motors. Both of these motors have some water intrusion damage. One of them actually was completely physically locked up. They're going to need a lot of work, but I think they're salvageable, and the price was right. So even if I have to put a little bit of money into them, it'll be worth it to move Soleon on. And we already got the locked up motor apart, and as you can see, it was pretty crusty inside. I also had a bad bearing, so that's why it was physically locked up. But it's not too bad. I think I can work with pretty much the issues. That's the gearbox, gear reduction there on top. It seems to be working fine. Other than some rust and some staining and some corrosion, everything seems to be in pretty decent condition. Motors are pretty resilient. This will clean up pretty well. Not worried so much about the physical parts of the motor, but more so the damage to the electronics. These circuit boards, the controller boards, they live inside the pod motor. Most pod motors and outboard motors have the electronics in the lower housing. So when you have a seal failure, you get salt water onto a board like this, and it's going to do some serious damage. But luckily, I'm in electronics, so if I can fix them, I'll fix them, and if I need to get some new boards, I'll get some new boards. It'll be well worth it. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Aloha.